All right, welcome
Sweet.
to another XROADZ Podcast with DeVall, the Lone Wolf.
Yes.
Nice.
Or DeVall is my artist and Lone Wolf is my podcast. I guess
Yeah,
you can go
DeVall,
that.
I dig it, by the way.
Yeah.
I think I listened to your music like a few days ago, um, and then finally found your link tree, so I could check out all your music and your podcasts. And I dig it. I like what
Yeah.
you got going on. I dig the sound of your music too. That one, Scars.
Yeah. Yeah. I worked. That's like the only good song that I heard. No, I'm being mean. I'm being mean to myself. It's
Right.
a it's a new song that I made. I found a new studio that actually helps me and works with me. Um, Night Owl Studios in Boise really helps me uh, kind of learn as I'm making music, some new songs and stuff, and
Nice.
just wanted to make more songs about mental health and all that stuff. It's really awesome.
Dude, yeah, I dig how well you only had you had like 3 songs that I found out online.
Yeah, I actually before that I had 12 or 15 songs
Mhm.
from another studio, 208 Music Studios. I
Mhm.
had like 15 songs there, but they didn't really care a lot, and they didn't really see me as talented or worth their time. So they kind
Oh.
of half-assed it. They half-assed it and basically didn't try to like mix and master. And there's a whole money issue and everything. And
Oh, was that
this
the
is
one you were talking about kind of on your podcast a bit mentioning
yeah,
just yeah, dude, the music world, especially even underground hip hop and or independent music in general, is pretty tough and it's kind of dog eat dog. But I could
yeah,
relate to those experiences you were talking about
hmm
of just wanting to work with people and it not ending up, how you wanted
yeah.
it to.
It it just you just gotta stick to yourself and your own personal goals and can't worry about what other people are doing or whatever people thinking. I mean, honestly, who really cares about what they think? And if they don't like me, they don't like me. They do, they do. I don't know. Doesn't matter. I have to like myself.
Dude,
That's the big part.
yeah, for sure. I mean, self love is definitely one of those things that people, you gotta, even I have to work on it, you know,
Mm,
because it's so much of, you know how it is as an artist. You can be so hard and critical on yourself,
hmm
or even just as a human.
Yeah,
And,
and just it was a wild experience. I learned a lot though from my failures. Um,
well, yeah, and the
I,
experiences with the people, I guess, looking back on it and reflecting, I guess what would you chop it up to nowadays just with what you've learned from people you've worked with in the past?
I'd say kind of what I learned from the studio I'm at now. Just do your own thing, and take pride in what you like to do. Um, and if it makes you happy, um, just like doing it. Don't do it because you want to be famous or make a lot of money or whatever. Or just
It's
do it
easy to have
because
those thoughts too.
yeah, you just gotta do it because you like to do it. I mean, and then that will show a lot of originality in your art, and it will show a lot of love for your art if you just love what you do. But don't try to act like somebody else and don't try to copy anybody else or any of that or try to be famous or try to get rich. It's not going to happen.
You could always just buy your fame. Some people
Yeah.
try. I'll see like famous people like buying likes and followers, and it's like,
Mhm.
wait, why?
Yeah.
Like, ah,
I,
it's
I mean, don't get me wrong. You
or
can,
even. people that aren't rich buying likes and followers. I mean, they'll probably sell them. My Instagram, I'll get those things $5
Yeah,
or $10 for like a 10,000 likes or something.
I don't get that. It's you could be famous if you wanted to. You could make a lot of money and do all that cool stuff. You just gotta, treat it as a business. Music is a business. So if you want to go out there and market your stuff, and you just gotta stay busy, gotta keep on pushing out content, because
True.
nowadays a lot of people here are very the attention span is not as what it used to be, I
Right.
would assume. So it's like crazy that people don't have very much attention span for anything. Sorry, my cat.
Myself included.
Yeah.
I mean, I never really was like. I've been thinking about talking to somebody about it recently, being like, do I got ADD or ADHD? Just because we are like hard to
Yeah.
focus, or but then I'll also
Jesus.
think like, you know,
Yeah. Damn
I
it, my
like that
cat.
about your cat.
Anyways, what you said?
Well, I like how you talked a lot about that stuff in your podcast too, like dealing with anxiety. Because even with fame, could come a lot of anxiety. Like if a lot of people listen to your music
Hmm.
or see your video, you know, um,
Yeah.
I don't know. It gives me anxiety. How do you deal with that?
With my anxiety,
Mm-hmm.
and making music,
Mm-hmm.
well, I kind of it gives me therapy to kind of let all my feelings out. Um, and hopefully it'll like motivate somebody else that's going through it. I mean, I try to put some positive into my music, but I don't know. I'm not there yet. Well, it's like you put some positivity in your music, or you can make really negative, like emo music. Um,
Mm-hmm.
you can, but it doesn't really mean it's gonna bring anyone down on purpose. You can look at me and know where I'm at. Like if I was on stage in front of like thousands and thousands of people, then I would be proof that you can get through all this like
Mm-hmm.
mess or whatever. So it's not always that negative. So
Dude, that were you trying something different with that song with
uh,
Scars than you do other music, or do you make music like that a lot?
yeah, I was trying something different. I was trying to sing. I was trying
Yeah, it
to.
sounded more singing.
I
Because you
wasn't
talked
trying to
about
do
that in
that.
your podcast too. You talked about how Tech Nine, you went to the Tech Nine concert, and is
Mm,
that kind of what got you into the rap scene, or?
actually, no. What got me into rap scene was actually Christian music,
Oh,
Christian
that's
rap.
right. Yeah, you said you grew up in
Um,
Christian, going to Christian
mhm.
church. I did as well.
I started making lyrics in my room a bunch of times, and then what got me into actually trying to find like a new hobby was probably the Tech Nine concert. And I was like, I can find some local artists and ask them where they went to go record some music or whatever. How do you do this? Sort of thing. So I guess you can say uh, I started writing when I was in middle school and when I discovered Christian rap. And then
Hmm.
when I went to a Tech Nine concert, I wanted to actually make the music about mental health. Um, I guess you could say.
Yeah, that's kind of it's awesome though, cause it's kind of ironic or like juxtapose how like Christian rap music, Tech Nine concert, where a lot of people might see Tech Nine and they're like, that is pure evil. Some people would
Yeah,
see that, and then but really like the mental health of even strange music, how they express that.
yeah. Tech Nine he's done a lot of music, but never mentioned Satan or devil in any of his songs. He's come from a Christian Muslim background, and he done a lot of features with a lot of Christian people, such as maybe NF and other people I probably haven't discovered yet because he's done thousands of songs.
Oh, right. Yeah, for sure.
But he's just a solid guy that just loves music in general. He has his ears and eyes on every type of music out there. So it's like really inspiring to listen to him. But I'm more like was more inspired by Chris Calico though.
Yeah.
He was more of a inspiration to me, and NF too. And then King ISO started getting more inspirational to me because he talks a lot about mental health in his songs too. So
Dude,
it's great.
I believe your music will like reach a lot of people and help them because I honestly I'm gonna listen to that song a lot. I'll listen to your other ones as well, but when I heard that one,
Mm-hmm.
like I say, if you're trying something new with that, I would definitely lean into it because I was like, dude, this song, it's like the type that I'm like, put that on the playlist that gives you like goosebumps. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, dude, that
Yeah,
one was
it's
awesome. And your
great.
other ones are great as well. I like your
Yeah,
style.
thank you. Yeah, I just got to learn to market it better. I
It
didn't.
looks good too. I like the artwork.
Yeah, my friend or producer, Night Owl Studios, um, definitely lets me use his space and pay a premium.
Hmm.
And he lets me record in there. He'll mix and master it. He'll do cover art. It's a really interesting place. Um,
Nice.
he doesn't let me just like record and leave.
Hmm.
He really makes sure that I'm on beat, on tune, everything. Teaches me about music and being just on tune, and all that stuff. That's really hard. Music is really different when you get into singing. I mean, you could rap and
Hmm.
like, I mean, you just rap, but you need to learn how to sing. You need to learn just the music theory of things, and you'll be able to like be a better rapper because you can learn how to get on tone, on rhythm, and everything. And it makes your music way, way much better because you don't really pay attention to that. You're like, oh, I just got to be on beat. No, got to be on rhythm. you gotta
Right.
you gotta make sure you sound professional. Like everything has to be professional in the industry. If you don't sound professional, no, they're just gonna listen to 30 seconds of it and skip. It's like, oh, skip.
Right. Yeah. So, I mean, is your goal to do it more professionally
My
in the
goal is
future as well?
my
Like,
goal is to learn how to do it myself. It's really challenging
oh, to
to
produce and
mix.
record?
Yeah, that would be really cool to do. Apparently, it's really hard. It
Yeah.
can be
Well, I've
hard.
been doing it since
Um,
I was like 15. So I've been doing
yeah,
like 15 years or so now, and it takes a while, but you
it's worth
know,
it.
I think if you have a passion for it, you could figure it out. And there are like schools for it too, like Full Sail. You could do it,
Mm,
from home, from a laptop. You'd get like a computer and programs to like learn it, probably.
yeah, yeah. My producer's been coaching me a little bit about
Oh,
like
nice.
what he does. And I just ask questions a lot because I have some kind of attention problem. Like I don't know what it is, but I
Hey,
just ask questions.
you're not alone there.
I mean, I ask like, is it just is, is it easy to do all this mixing and mastering? Like he's like, well, for rap it'd probably be a little bit easier, but like with like drums and actual instruments and metal, it's a whole nother dinosaur.
Right, yeah. If you have a beat to work with and then you're just working with your vocals, yeah, you could definitely work with
Mm-hmm.
that, but if you have to work with each end of it, if you're actually get to the point, which I could see you doing one day if you have that passion where it's like,
Mm-hmm.
no, I'm going to make the beat. I like this kick and drum snare and hi-hats and
Yeah.
melodies, you know.
He actually showed me like I was like, I want to do a metal song. And he was like, okay, well,
A metal
if you,
song?
yeah, and he was like, well, if you're having trouble with the tone of like just regular singing, like pop or whatever, imagine you doing. He showed me the tempo for like metal like singers. It was
Hmm.
way like much more like different. And I was like, oh my God, I don't know, I'm not there yet.
Right,
But,
yeah. You know, I guess each kind of genre has its own little like things about the craft. But music, you know, like you say, if you learn theory, if you start learning things about music theory, then you know, whatever, the world is your oyster. It's your canvas to create with.
yeah,
I think that it's what you got going on now is great. Even just with the 3 songs, and you haven't done a music video yet, right? Or have you?
not quite. I haven't actually have another song that I'm trying to do for a contest.
Nice.
Um, but the music video part is it's a little hard. It's a little pricey. I'm still just
True
a
that.
caregiver that makes minimum wage or whatever. So
Right. Well, that's good.
I'm
At
like,
least you're working.
yeah. I mean, music videos are pretty pricey, and those guys do charge fairly. So I'm
That's
like,
true. Yeah.
so I can't afford it yet, but I will get there someday, or maybe I'll just do it myself. But, you know.
Yeah, dude. Nowadays, phones are so good. Like they are HD cameras,
Mhm,
you know, and geez, you could probably get editing programs on phones and laptops. And
mhm.
yeah, you seem like a pretty do-it-yourselfer. You know, I mean, it's always good to network and work with people.
Well, I usually just when I want something done, I get it. I make sure it's done. Um,
Lone Wolf. Yeah, you're kind of. I mean, I like the Lone Wolf. The podcast is cool too. I started listening to the one with Lyrical Shay, the guest.
mhm.
So you've done a bunch
Yeah,
with guests.
yeah. I kind of wanted to do like a regular single one, but
Mm-hmm.
then I thought it'd be interesting if I talked to other rappers and stuff about their passions, their mental health. And then yeah, Lyrical Shay was one of my first. She only did it for like 30 minutes. That's okay.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted an hour, but
Mm.
um, some guests are like really, really good at like talking, and other people are just not much of an interview kind of person, and that's
Right.
okay. And that's all
How
right.
do you
I
like
try.
doing it?
I really like it. It helps my mental health. Helps. I love doing it. It really makes me feel good about myself.
Yeah, dude. I'm glad you're feeling good. Because I know what it's like as well to be, especially even when I went through things with, you know, friends or partners, you know,
Mhm.
that ended up not, the relationship didn't end up working out that well in the end, I guess. It is really depressing and can send you into a pretty dark, isolated place, yeah, especially after
Mhm.
COVID, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
COVID was just when all that stuff happened with the other studio that I mentioned earlier. And then that all ended, and it just, yeah, that was a horrible time for me, for sure. But
yeah, it's, well, I think that, you know, it probably made you stronger or something in ways, and it probably built
mm,
more character and
yeah,
just
it did.
experience points in the game of life or something,
Yeah.
you
In the game of life, yes, very much so. Um, I wanted to do the podcast when I was in quarantine,
know.
and
Mhm.
then I started after quarantine. I mean, still quarantine, kind of,
Mhm.
but like I started it, made my first episode. That was fun. Just rambled for like
I
two
listened to that one.
episodes.
I thought it was great. and the second one. I was like, dude, that's why I was like, man, I can relate. And plus, I was like, dude, this your
Mm,
voice. I don't know. I was like, man, this guy's got a
yeah.
soothing voice. Like
Yeah.
it makes my anxiety go away listening to you.
Good. Good. And then I started emailing people, and then I asked somebody from Strange Music to if he wanted to come on my podcast, and he said yes, and he was on my podcast,
Oh,
and
nice. Who was that? I didn't even see it in the. I just like breezed through it real quick because I'm just tapping into the other like Stitcher and stuff. So who did you have from Strange?
uh, Jerry Robinson. He
I'll
is a
have to
new
check him
Strange
out.
Music artist,
Oh, I'll check him out for
and
sure.
that guy gives some really good advice for upcoming artists that want to get into the game. He's the one that said to travel. If you want to get somewhere, if you want to expand, you should definitely travel. Go to another city and see what rap their music scene is like. Because if you go
Right,
to LA or go to Nashville or go to New York, those places are like the birthplaces of like music. I
right.
would like to say probably not Nashville, but maybe a
Definitely
little
like
bit
a
of
mecca
Nashville.
where things people go there and then it like springs
Well,
from there.
it's because of all the artists that are from there that are really, really famous and have a lot of respect. Like, New York, Jay-Z. I'm sure Nas is from New York. Maybe I'm stupid. Um,
I'm no, yeah, I'm pretty sure they're all like the from the
the East
east.
Coast.
Yeah.
Yeah. And LA is like Ice Cube, Tupac, all those
Yeah.
guys. Nashville,
Oh yeah,
all kind
Compton out in LA, yeah.
um, country music from Nashville, country rock music.
Yeah.
Um,
It'll probably always be that way too with
and
LA and Nashville and New York.
Seattle is like has a big music company or label up in Seattle or something like that.
Yeah, Seattle's rad.
So,
I love Seattle.
so if you think the Boise music, if you want to dominate the Boise music scene, you're wasting your time.
There are people that are like that though. That they are all set on it's territorial is what I've learned. Even
Mm-hmm.
traveling around, and I try to be like peace, love,
Mm-hmm.
and make comrades and like allies, but not everybody wants to be buddies.
Yeah,
It's competition, and they'll be like, "This is our turf. We put on the shows. We are the ones
yeah,
that get the attention," and it's
yeah. I mean,
like
don't get me
I
wrong.
can't.
Like, it's okay to like you can play here, you can do whatever you want, But like, if you just want to dominate and it's just if you just want to dominate, the word dominate in general is not that attractive. So it's
Yeah,
like,
pretty ego driven.
no, don't have an ego, you know. Also show up, you know.
Yeah, there are. You're in. Oh yeah, you're in Nampa. Is that right? Or
Yep,
Boise? Is that just outside of
Nampa.
Boise or
It's outside of
near?
Boise. Born and raised.
Nice.
Um, say it's the ghetto, but it's not really that bad.
Right. I'm sure it's not that much different than out here in Montana. It's from what I've experienced in Idaho. It's pretty similar. I used to live in Coeur d'Alene for a while,
Coeur
and
d'Alene's cool. I like
yeah,
it.
yeah, it's nice. I've never lived in like southern Idaho, but I've traveled through Boise, and I don't think I've ever done any shows out there. But um,
Yeah,
Idaho Falls and stuff. But I want to come to Boise. Hopefully, have you ever traveled outside or of your city and put on shows or?
I've actually done like two shows, and that was with my bad songs. I
Oh,
did
right,
an
yeah,
open
yeah.
couple of open mics, but
Well, you got to do that. You got to perform your bad music too.
yeah,
You like you say, you always kind of you don't start off the best, no matter what you're
yeah,
doing. You're gonna go through your motions.
yeah. And then since I worked nights as a caregiver, I wasn't able to. go out Friday night, Saturday night, and, perform. So, that's all right. I just make music, I guess, do a podcast.
Dude, I think you're on the right path with it all. You know,
Mm,
for me, I'm trying to work on the whole rebranding and changing for like what I see, what you got going on with the helping people with mental health
mm.
issues. Um, and I think you're on the right path, and I could see you becoming more and more successful with your music and the podcast.
Yeah, sure. My cat is so weird. Why does he keep doing that?
Your cat, yeah, my cat. I was like, dude, that's what people like on the podcast. They're like, I just like it when the cat shows up and starts knocking stuff over.
And he keeps opening up my door and then leaves and then opens it, then leaves, then
Oh,
opens it.
dude, that's classic cats, right? That's what my cat
No.
does all the time. I think she wants like a treat or something when she just can't make up her mind. She's a lot like me. I'll go
Yeah.
bipolar. I'm like, I want this. I don't know.
Well, there's a falcon outside, and I don't want him to go outside. So
There's a falcon outside?
yeah, there's a falcon.
Oh,
It's
dang.
he was chewing on a squirrel in my backyard. Um, and I won't want my cat out there because it might snatch him,
Yeah, for sure.
snap its neck. Oops, sorry. Damn it.
Yeah, dude.
It's
Don't want
it's
that to
not.
happen.
It's crazy. I don't want that at all. That would be horrible.
Yeah,
Oh my
dude, when I was
goodness.
listening to your podcast earlier, you were talking about how you went through like different, what, like Job Corps or
Hmm.
AmeriCorps.
Yeah, I went to Job Corps, and I was like 2014 or 15 or something, and I wanted to find a job because I didn't. I mean, the school system kind of just like goodbye. Didn't
Yeah.
really help me.
You made it through. Now figure out what you're gonna do.
And I was trying to find jobs, and I worked at Wendy's, didn't like it. And then someone told me about Job Corps, so I applied. Went to Job Corps, and it was first people bullied me, and then I started becoming a bully back, and then I made lots of friends.
Nice. Yeah, I guess that's kind of how it goes, just with,
Yeah, surviving.
yeah, and just emotions. Because I'm sure a lot of people because a lot of people
Mm,
also end up in Job Corps too, like they're forced into it too, right? Some people are, or it's like not
yeah,
forced, but they might get in some trouble and they're like, hey,
yeah.
yo, this is your option.
I think there was one guy that was like a judge told him that he had to go to Job Corps for
Hmm.
some reason, or his jail, or like some people don't have families, some people don't have their moms and dads don't want them around
Right.
because of abuse, and they just hate them and they want them to get out, go get a job. Just it's a lot of people struggling over there, and you just kind
Yeah.
of
So I
meet
bet there's a
friends.
lot of people in there that are just kind of already angry.
Yeah, we're not really angry. We're just like troubled. A lot of troubled kids,
Yeah, I
and
went
we
to
all
some alternative. I like went to an alternative high school that was apparently for like the misfits or troubled youth or whatever.
oh man, I would love to go back because all the experiences I had, it was just amazing. I loved it so much. I was part of student government. Um,
Oh, really? How was that?
student government's fun. I was safety officer, so I got to follow the safety man. It was
Oh, to learn like
like
security?
OSHA like stuff, and
Oh, nice. That's good.
security on campus. It was a dumb job, but I was on SGA. I was the only one that ran for security or whatever it's called, a safety officer. There you go.
Right.
I was the only one that applied for safety officer, and I was like, yes, I'll take it because nobody else wants to.
Nice.
So it was cool because we nominated one of my buddies for SGA president. It was really cool. You get a little gavel and you have to sign it when you graduate. It's really awesome.
Nice.
We got to go to the mall. We got to go to the ocean, Angel Job Corps in Yachats. I got to go to the ocean a bunch of times. I did
Nice.
I did forestry. Forestry was fun. I got to be outside in the rain and chop trees and trim hedges and make trails. It was really a fun job, and I wish I
Holy
could do it
moly, that'd
again.
be gnarly.
It's a really fun job. I recommend that job to anybody. It's really fun to be out and be outdoors and everything. And plus, on the coast, you get really bad rain. It was a really awesome experience. Then I
Oh,
switched to
on
Portland,
like the Oregon or Washington coast?
Oregon coast.
Nice.
It's really cool.
Yeah,
And
Oregon
then,
is a pretty beautiful place too.
yeah, I only saw the coast though. But like, I had to take my first bus on in Portland. That was horrible.
Oh, I've been there at that bus station on a bus there in Portland. Yeah,
It's gross.
for sure.
It's not fun at
How long
all.
was your trip on a bus?
Well, I made it on the plane to Portland.
Hmm.
Actually, that was my way home. On my way to Oregon was a plane, and I got a shuttle from Angel Job Corps shuttle
Hmm.
that took me there. And it was really boring. I didn't realize how long it was from Portland. But man, I just remember all the good times I had, the food, the friends, the enemies, the drama, I got in a lot of fights. I smoked a cigarette and chewed tobacco like once. Um,
Oh wait, were they like, was it like rebelling out there to smoke a cigarette or chew tobacco?
I was just trying to hang out with everybody, and I was just wanting a cigarette. I guess I was hanging out in the smoking area.
Dude, I remember when I first started smoking cigarettes. I quit now, and it was tough.
Well, I quit on the first day because
Oh, dude,
I didn't like it.
I don't even know why I continued. They made me puke.
I puked.
Yeah,
It was
and
horrible.
I don't know if everybody pukes, but I puked. And
Yeah, Job Corps is like awesome. I loved it so much. Oh man, when you think you got friends, those guys will like as long as you're not a snitch, they'll love you.
wait, didn't you say that in your other or your podcast too? You're like, yeah, I was kind of a snitch, and then
At first,
yeah, oh yeah, because you were
yeah,
saying that's when your religion, you were like, you kind of started to open up more from just the
yeah,
Christian upbringing to, you know,
yeah. It's weird. They actually did some. I think I remember this, or maybe I don't remember it right because it was kind of foggy. Um, I remember like there's this one guy named Bobby that he was my best friend. Now was my best friend, but we don't talk anymore because when you yeah, I'm getting off topic. He was my best friend
I
at
know
Job
how it is
Corps.
to have a best friend that you don't talk to much anymore either. It's all good.
Yeah, but he like tried to coach me and like he was like it's like they didn't call me he didn't it's like he liked me. And then I was like lured into the laundry room and I people talk to me about being a snitch and saying that, it's you know you're religious, but you can't like it's the wrong thing to do is to snitch when no one's hurting anybody. And you just gotta, you know, don't be so like don't try to get people in trouble because you're gonna get hurt. You're gonna,
Oh,
you
right,
know,
yeah, true that, yeah. I mean, that's
uh,
just kind of like the way it is when I've gotten myself in trouble or even other things like that.
well,
Like
I
the
think the
same thing.
moment,
It's just kind of like again the turf where it's like, yo, if you want to get along with us all, here's how we're all gonna get along or something.
yeah, something like that. It was like here's what you're doing wrong. we need you to like stop, because you're a good kid, you're a good guy, I know that, but you just need to not do that anymore. I think the one moment where I stopped, where I gained everybody's like respect, because I really wanted to gain everybody's respect, because
Right.
I
Yeah,
wanted to
and
fit in.
I
I
know that
stood up.
feeling. Yeah.
I stood up to a student that was like being like yelled at by this rude ass um, admin that was like drunk on the job, and he was being an asshole.
Oh wow.
And I stood up for this dude. I told him just leave him alone and go away. We don't like, just leave him alone. And he, I got in trouble, but like I
Right.
stood up for somebody and I gained a little bit of respect. Everybody started to be like, okay, so maybe he's kind of changing a little bit. And then I started like gaining everybody's trust by being their friend. They taught me a lot. I started learning from them some things that I learned how to break into a locker, and
Right.
and I learned, like, my friend Ronnie taught me how to pick a lock, and that was dope.
Yeah, it sounds like all the things you learned. It's like when you go to jail, you learn how to smuggle or whatever, you know.
It's funny. It's not
Yeah.
like jail, but it is.
Yeah,
Oh,
just another like program, right? Like a reform program. Like, hey, we're trying to make these people into better people, but at the same time, we all have our natural, sometimes tendencies to.
well, no. Some people are there, just to get their life straight or whatever. Some people are just thrown in there. Other people are there because they just want a job and a trade
Oh,
school,
right. Oh,
or
yeah,
just to
trade
get,
school. You said you
and just
learned
to
some stuff about like plumbing and electrician work.
plumbing, and forestry.
Hmm.
And so other people want to get their high school diploma or their GED or their driver's license. That's what people do also.
Just go to better yourself.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, it's a kind of get your life started kind of program, and I recommend it to anybody. Just don't don't go in there, you know, being weird, being a snitch, because you gotta just pay attention to yourself, make friends, pay attention to trade, pay attention to you're getting your high school diploma, getting 100% in trade, and just leave and go.
Yeah, and move on to, I mean, if you graduate and get your, certification for whatever, I'm sure it makes people into
Mhm.
some, they can start their life fresh again, or just move
Yeah.
on. What do you want to do now with your music? You just doing
Well,
singles or focusing on your podcast? Or?
I'm gonna make a bunch of singles, and then I'm gonna like market them one by one, like release them one by one.
Nice.
Um, I also went into AmeriCorps. AmeriCorps is
Mm.
different from Job Corps. AmeriCorps is a volunteer program where you volunteer around the United States, a certain region. I was in the Southwest region, which was North Dakota. I mean, not, shit, New Mexico,
Nice.
Arizona, um, Colorado, Utah.
Oh, dang. So what were you
Um,
doing?
I my first job was to like work in a homeless shelter, and kind of not homeless shelter, but like a food bank,
Mm-hmm.
and help people shop and like do the food bank
Nice.
thing.
Man, you
My other
sound
one,
like, uh, you really want to help people.
yeah. And then we went to Kansas. I went to Kansas City.
Oh, nice.
Um,
Yeah, strange music.
no, probably not Kansas City. Topeka, Kansas.
Mm.
Topeka, Kansas is much more. I didn't realize how much crime was over there.
Oh,
Um,
yeah, dude. I mean, I went to Kansas City, and that was the only show I've ever been to where they're like a freak out about like a gun.
Yeah,
So I was like, whoa.
it's crazy. We had to stay. We were told to stay on our little campus. We had like somebody let us use their cabins on our camp site, and we could just stay there while we go to the Boys and Girls Club.
Man, you traveled a lot of places with AmeriCorps.
Yeah, AmeriCorps is fun. It's more. I think surprised everyone just pretty much had the same political standing, but they
Oh
were
yeah.
very much left wing. Not that it's a problem, but like I just noticed it. It was very left winged. Everybody's just pretty much trying to go into college. You get a reward for like $10,000 for your college, and you can be a leader or you can be a crew member. You can try to be for FEMA Corps. You can go for FEMA Corps. You can even there's a moment where we can sign up to fight fires or something like that,
Oh,
or
nice.
help fight fires, but I didn't get a chance to do that
So it's
because
all like volunteer work, so you don't make any money at it?
they give you living money, but it's not a lot. It's like
Like just
200, 300. Yeah.
to like eat food or
Yeah.
something?
Spending money to eat
Do you
food.
do you kind of like room with these people as you go?
Yeah, we when we first got there, we were in an old old ass high school. It was like an old one that was abandoned, but we stayed in like little dorms. With like there was 10 guys, a room with 10 guys, a room with not 10 guys, probably a lot more than that, but there's a lot of guys that I bunked with, and there's a lot of girls that bunked with each other, and then we would try to learn teamwork exercises and everything. And
Nice.
eventually, we picked a team. We picked our teams. I had 10 people in our team. We chose a van, and we started traveling. My first team, we didn't travel that far. We just went to Lakewood, which is outside of there's Lakewood, and there's another one that's just similar to that name. I just forgot about it. But we just went like 20 miles, to the next town to do the food bank, and it was
From
pretty
your
awesome.
area?
Yeah.
So you got into it in like your area, and then they eventually ended up taking you traveling?
So there's this dude that sits in his office, and he's picking like places that need to be that signed up to have volunteers. So you could be chosen to go to stay in Denver. You can go to Kansas. You can go to New Mexico or Arkansas or whatever. You can just pick. They'll pick for you. So it's like we got assigned to Lakewood, and then after Lakewood, I got assigned to another team or something. I think one of our team leaders quit, and then we had to get another team leader. So eventually I switched to another team or something like that. And then we went to Topeka, Kansas, and we did the Boys and Girls Club, but they thought we were free labor. So we went downstairs from that and like did some kind of renovation thing, but we can't be used for free labor. So we moved to another food bank. So, and then I quit AmeriCorps because I had a mental breakdown.
Oh, dude, I've had a mental breakdown as well. I have also used to use a lot of abuse drugs and alcohol. But what led to your kind of mental breakdown? How was your mental breakdown experience? Because that can relate to you, and I haven't really talked about it to a lot of people.
Well, it started out with a piece of pizza that I was supposed to watch.
I'm sorry to laugh at that, but it sounds like such the greatest, like, it started with a pizza,
It did. I was supposed to watch a pizza being made
Oh, that's right. You talked about
inside
that.
the
Yeah.
oven,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't feel like I wanted to. I didn't want to. I got bored. I didn't want to. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't feel like I had to. I didn't feel like it was my responsibility to watch someone else's food in the oven. Plus, there are
Mm-hmm.
already like people in the kitchen to watch it. But those two people are kind of being like they're being butt heads
Right.
and
Yeah.
wouldn't watch it. So I was like, I don't want to watch it. I
They're
don't have
trying to
to.
give you the responsibility.
Yeah, and they're being rude. So I yelled at them. Um, and then I guess the next day I think it was after somebody said something to me that like dwelled on me a lot, and then that was like the final straw of it because a couple of days before this girl, probably who identifies as a male,
Mm-hmm.
um, she called me white privileged. She called me white privileged,
Oh,
and that
yeah.
was
Once you
insulting to
start
me.
picking little things like that to like really, you're opening a can of worms. Like,
Yeah, um, I didn't feel it was right because I struggled a lot through my life, and I've struggled through a lot of mental issues. And she was like, "Oh, because you're white, because you're just white. You know, you can't experience any hardship or anything like that." And I was like, "That's very wrong."
right.
Um, and I was like, "Yeah, you know, I am Native American. I have a Native American heritage. I'm part of a tribe. I get money from a tribe. I have a card waiting for me in North Dakota." And of like
Right.
an identification, it's like an identification you get for being Native American, part of
Wait,
being
from North
a tribe.
Dakota?
North Dakota, North
What is
affiliated tribes.
what is it? Do you know
It's
what
a
tribe?
Arikara. Arikara.
Arikara? Because
Yeah.
mine, the Turtle Mountains in North Dakota is where like my family's from,
Oh.
or the Chippewa Cree. I'm not enough percentage to get like
Yeah.
affiliated or something like that. I don't know. My grandma is.
Yeah. My grandma is too. She passed away recently, but we're kind of
Oh,
just.
sorry to hear. Rest in peace, grandma.
Oh yeah, yeah. She's great. She. I'm really proud to have her in my heritage, a part of her heritage. But yeah, that set me off, and I felt like I didn't want to be in AmeriCorps anymore because I didn't want to be a part of like a people that don't like me because I'm white, and I felt it
Right.
was
Yeah.
wrong.
It sounds like a lot of kind of other things that are out of your power too. Like a lot of the people you might be involved in the AmeriCorps program, or if you're supposed to travel and go these places.
Yeah,
That would be hard for
politics.
me because it's just will be hard.
I think people were mad because at the time Trump was becoming president. Um, but like I digress. Look, I respect everybody and I love everyone. I don't care if you are trans, just gay or whatever. I accept and I support BLM. I support um, gay, lesbian. I do a lot. But at the time, I was, I just didn't understand it completely, and I felt like I was being
Oh right.
attacked, and that was my mental health, and I just freaked out a little bit. So
Yeah, it's hard to change our minds, you know, or
yeah,
to learn and to adapt to new ways of thinking because the world is changing. A lot of these things, especially if you were like raised in a Christian upbringing, especially if it's a really strict or any sort of certain like religious upbringings, and then
mm,
you try to open your mind later. Like I'd imagine with your podcast, there's probably a lot of people you've talked with that might have totally different belief systems
mm,
or things like that. So how is it now for you? Because I mean, for me, I'm like, well, there's some people out there that I'm like, I don't know, they might be like, they're
mm,
rocking the pentagrams and and all this like demonic imagery. So how is
Yeah.
it? Have you ran into that with people you talk to that are into more of that?
Um, there's a couple of people. There's one rapper that is Plague. He's really cool guy.
Mm-hmm.
He's really nice. He suffers through a lot of mental problems, as he's very transparent about it.
Mm-hmm.
So
I want to
he's
listen to that
more
one.
he's more of a he's more into the like the dark rap.
Right. Yeah.
Um, I interviewed I interviewed a lot of people. I not that didn't really weren't really transparent about their beliefs. And I'm pretty moderate, and
Right.
I'm still a little bit Christian, but not like all Bible thumping. But I'm like
Yeah, I
Christian
feel you
enough.
there for sure.
I love God. It's always in my heart. I'm always thinking about God. And stuff.
Yeah,
I
for
even
sure. It's good to
was
to believe in anything,
mm,
like and good to just be open minded to
yeah,
other people's beliefs. So
yeah.
I
So
think
that's
it's
gonna
cool
come
what
out
you
of
got
my
going
music.
on.
And I want to keep on making music, and making singles, and then putting them out. See what I can do with my singing. Um,
Yeah,
you
I
know
was
that.
literally like, dude, I was like, I want to get him on a song, cause like
Yeah,
that Scars one too, and I like your verses with your other music as well. It's
yeah.
I like what you express in your music. Like you say, it might be some people might like you say, be like, oh, it sounds depressing, or it's expressing these
Mhm.
negative feelings, and it's like, yeah, but those are what people can relate to. Not everybody can
Yeah.
express it, and then
I mean,
to me,
NF
it
goes through the
like
same
feels so
thing.
good, man.
I mean, like if you listen to NF,
Hmm.
he's the
You kind of
exact
give me the
same.
NF vibe.
Yeah, he's just more like. I mean, I kind of got it from him. It's like, well, you just have to like. It's relatable. Yeah, and you look at him now. He's like he can. In Idaho and Nampa, there's a stadium that can hold like hella people. Like some people here in Idaho be like, I want to go to that venue, but it's like thousand. It's been way bigger than Knitting Factory even, and
Right.
he can sell out those seats. So I'm like, yeah, he's negative, but like, look where he is. That
He's
motivates you.
yeah,
Yeah,
he's touching all those people's souls or something is what I think. When it's like,
yeah,
yeah, it's a different type of music. It's not the type of music that's like, hey, I'm gonna go party and get lit tonight and get lucky. It's
mm,
more emotional and about healing or something.
yeah. My recent episode was with Futuristic.
Hmm.
He's a big time rapper. He's like really high profile rapper, and I
How
got
does it
him.
feel when you reach out to more high profile people? Do you get nervous? And does your
I
anxiety,
do
even before
because
these, like, how do you do your podcast, by the way?
well, as far as like talking to highly profile people, it's like you gotta email them and you have to be really professional and you have to some people ask how many viewers do you how many views do you have? How many of this do you have?
Hmm.
Like they want to know that and it's kind of heartbreaking. It's like, oh, you only care about the views, but they don't care about
Right.
the views. But it's like some people are just nice enough to say yes. Sometimes
Hmm.
you have to pay. Sometimes you have to pay for certain people, and that's
Right.
okay. I wanted to, so I did pay for a little bit, and that's okay. And other
Yeah,
people
for
are just
sure.
not. Other people are genuinely like, yeah, sure, man. Like,
Well, in a way, you are also building a business.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
ultimately,
Anchor.
you could be, making money with it as well or getting sponsors, especially when you're talking about things like mental health
Mm,
and you're giving artists an opportunity to express themselves and shine. And that's why I liked your podcast too, because I was like, yo, that's he's doing like the same thing, you know,
yeah,
similar,
definitely. So I just invite them on. I do Zoom or in person. I'll do an hour or 30 minutes. I'll kind of do conversation based. I'll have some like bullet points of what I want to talk about, and then I kind of just do the conversation, like asking questions while I'm ahead where I'm going, and see what I can like get out of you in
Right.
a good way. But I try. But with futuristic, I was really nervous, and I think I bombed that interview. But that's all right because I was really tired anyway, so it's all good. That was my excuse that I was tired. But
Hey, it's all good. I mean, I think the more you do of anything, the better you get at it. And just for
mm-hmm.
you to even start it up and have the passion to keep doing it and to reach out to people and to show up, at
Yeah,
to a virtual meeting,
it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, dude. Gold star for that.
I did do another high profile person, and I was worried because they were on the phone in their car, and it was
Mhm.
really frustrating because I couldn't get good audio out of it, and
Mhm.
I couldn't use it. I couldn't have that high profile person on there. It just
Oh,
sucked.
dang.
And they're on the phone, whatever. And the car kept beeping, and it was just horrible. It's not fun.
Right. Yeah, I suppose there's definitely going to be those types of ones too where it's like, yeah, you know, every once in a while you'll miss the shot or something or it doesn't hit the bullseye, but
True.
just keeping at it. And how many of those have you done now? You had quite a bit of them racked up.
17,
17, nice.
a couple more people have been asking me, but
So do people ask you to be on it? Like they're like, "Hey, I want to do your podcast." Or do you all and you reach out to them?
yeah, I got a couple people. Um, I just been kind of taking a break at the moment, but I'm getting back to it.
True
I
that.
got one person on my Facebook that's asking. I got I got a couple like rappers from a couple of other rappers that have been asking me and all that, and I've been emailing a bunch of people and other people too. Some people don't even have their emails. Some like I can't even reach like high profile people. I have to like find their
Right.
contacts. I
Well, at
don't know
least
where they're at.
you'll do that digging and everything, and at least you have the
Mm-hmm.
passion and desire to even want to know how to do these things. Like, oh, I want to know how to produce and record music, or I want to do a podcast, and you do it. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
commend you for that because
Yeah,
you're doing it.
I'll, I'll probably just produce myself, but eventually I wanna. If I do make enough music and I get enough fans, I'll probably do shows and like I don't know, do normal musician stuff. But I'm just trying to go to go find a really good caregiving job and get my CNA. Try to be try to get back into college and kind of do social work to be a
Nice.
therapist or something or whatever.
Dude, I think that you're on the right path, and it's similar to the path that I'm on now. I've always wanted to do this music stuff, but I was a little lost in the party of it
Mm,
too, which didn't help my mental health, caused breakdowns and
yeah,
psychotic manic episodes. And then,
yeah,
but I could see you doing that, especially with your music, like helping people, that are struggling with depression, anxiety, other mental health issues, or, addiction and recovery of just pulling themselves out of whatever's bringing them down. I could see it happening for you, and one day I want to get this program going with the because I have the Crossroads podcast. I want to do Crossroads tours one day and find the right groups of people that's like, yeah, we're loading up in a van and we're going to travel around, put on shows and promote the things like you. Like I would think of you where it's like, yeah, he's promoting, things like mental health and, you know,
yeah. That'd be cool. That'd be dope.
yeah, so it'd be
Um,
like AmeriCorps but a little bit more
yeah,
hip hop and counterculture where it's like, yeah, we're just trying a little more
I always wanted,
open-minded and artistic.
I always wanted to make a mental health festival for
Mm-hmm.
music and like a podcast, guest speakers, and all that. That'd be cool. That'd be dope.
Dude, it sounds like you're making it happen, bro. Like,
Yeah,
so, dude, yeah, I guess I could let you go here. We probably talked about an hour. I got another
yeah,
group rock band out of Washington I'm gonna chat with, but yeah, dude,
hmm
I'm gonna listen to more of your stuff. We
yeah,
can always do one of these again in the future
yeah,
if you
definitely.
ever want to chat
Um,
again, or I'll fly
yeah,
if you ever want somebody else to do your podcast. I'm trying to plug in to some other podcasts.
yeah, definitely. We'll set some up. Um, just so for the record, my one of my best episodes is probably I think from Christian Winkle or something.
Okay.
He's one of my best ones. He talks a lot about mental health because he works in the or volunteers at the suicide hotline, and he gives some really good advice for mental health. I recommend that episode if you guys want to figure out ways to help with your mental health. So
Yeah, dude, I'm gonna check that episode out. And I love how you also would say in your podcasts, how, hey, don't be afraid to call the hotline or
yeah,
visit a crisis center or
yeah, I did
reach
a couple
out to
times.
somebody, and because look, I'm glad you're alive. I'm glad you're making your
Yeah,
music. It touched me, it made me happy. And
definitely.
I really believe in you. I want to work with you too. Like, I'm like,
Yeah,
yo, I make beats and music, so sometime I'll have to send you some music and see if it inspires you and
sure, of
to write or
course.
sing or anything to it. And
That'd be
hopefully we
cool.
can make some music that feels good and other people like it. And,
Hmm
I don't know, man. I could see you out there saving some lives, man. At least
I really,
saving your own life. I'm glad that
yeah.
you're around
One
to
of my
make your
goals
music
is
and
to,
share with people.
I want to perform at the knitting factory in Boise by myself.
Let's make it happen by yourself.
Yeah, like open
You could do it one
or
day.
whatever, or
You
someone
know.
will open for me. I don't know. But you can find me on all platforms: Spotify, Apple Music. My music is on Apple Music. My music is on Spotify. My podcast is on Spotify.
Oh, I
And
also like that you told it. I was like, how did he get his stuff out there? And then you had the Anchor.fm at the beginning of your podcast. I was like, oh, perfect.
yeah, Anchor is really good. It's like a DistroKid, but with
You use
podcasts.
DistroKid too?
Yep. Yep.
Nice. Yeah, I use DistroKid as well. So if we do some collaborations, then we can also just, do like the royalty split stuff easily.
True.
And I will put
Yes.
your links below in the comments for um, your link
Definitely.
tree and stuff so people can find you online. And um,
Yeah.
I'll invite people to like your pages and stuff. I'm going to try and do that for people a little more.
Yeah. I also have a TikTok, but people are just gonna have to find it
Nice. Yeah.
because I don't, I don't want to share it. But like,
Right. Yeah. It's always the weird stuff on TikTok.
yeah. I mean,
It's like the
yeah.
goofball stuff.
Anywhere you can get a podcast, I have a podcast on there. And Apple Music, Spotify for my music. Anywhere you can find music, stream my stuff. See if you like it. Show some love. Tell me what you think. If you hate it, that's all right. Tell me you hate it. Tell me you don't like it.
Dude,
I don't
honestly,
know.
that one, it reminded me of that Owl City.
Oh
You
yeah,
remember that? The Fireflies guy?
yeah,
Dude, I was like, dude, if that song Scars, like if you had a good music video for that one, and even like obviously promotional budgets, you can like make anybody a number one with enough of a budget. But I
yeah,
was like, yeah, if that reached enough people or the right people, that song, it's just
yeah. I'll have to save money and do a music video because some guys just charge a lot. 500. or 300 or one, like a lot. And
Right.
I get it. It's fair. It's
Yeah,
fair.
for sure. I've
I
paid a
res-
lot for videos too, and sometimes you don't have the budget, you know.
yeah, I'll have to
But if
figure
you ever
something
want to
out.
shoot stuff from your phone or have somebody film it for you, I'll do video edits and stuff like that too for super cheap.
Yeah, and
But
there's also podcasting for video too on YouTube, and I've been trying to do that too.
oh, really?
Yeah, apparently that's popular.
Oh, yeah, that's all I've been doing with my podcast is putting them on YouTube. So I'm gonna start putting the audio um,
Hmm.
onto those other platforms like you've got going on. 'Cause that
Yeah, that'd
sounds
be
pretty
great.
cool. You think you'll expand onto YouTube with your podcast? Just curious.
Eventually. Yeah, I have to figure something out. I think my studio is going to be getting cameras for podcasting.
The
So,
other studio or a home studio?
the studio, Night Owl Studios.
Night Owl Studios. I'm gonna check them out. You think you'll ever get your own home studio set up?
I probably will eventually, but
I can see it.
also check out Night Owl Studios. Those are really those. There's Daniel and Brogan. They are very knowledgeable about music, and they are very professional. There's no nonsense. They very much care about your art, and are able to take care of it, you know,
They did those
pay
other
attention.
songs with you?
Yeah, they really they're really good. Like they're the kind of studio you want to have. Oh, you go in there with you can do like metal. They have like a room for guitars and drums and stuff, and they have rooms where you can just record music. There's a girl that does her country music in there too, and he lets me rap in there. But I've been kind of edging
Nice.
away from rap and singing a lot, so
Dude, I'm
I don't.
telling you, like, the rapping is dope,
Yeah.
but the singing.
Hmm.
Oh, dude, I'm not kidding you when I was like, yo, that gave me like goosebumps and tingles. Where I was like, I could listen to this song all the time. Like, it's definitely. And I can't say that for a lot of songs. That one
Yeah.
is definitely like, I'll listen to that, dude. And
I mean, a lot of people kind of from my family are like, oh, this obvious they did something to your voice. Well, like every producer does something to your voice.
yeah, that's
And
okay. It's art. It's
yeah,
still. It's an
yeah, like
awesome
every
product, too.
your favorite song probably has autotune.
Oh yeah, and even they'll have auto tune and just turn it like way down, so you can't
Yeah,
really notice that it's being digitally like perfected, sort of, or matched onto the
yeah,
key. But it
because
sounds great. There's nothing. A lot of people, yeah, you're right. Some people will hate on it and say, "Oh, auto tune," but
it's everywhere. I mean, just again, like singing, you just got to be on tune, on rhythm. Sometimes you got to tweak it a little bit and to
yeah,
make
true
it
that.
fit. So
Sometimes, and
just
like you say, sometimes you need to tweak your ideas or your craft. Might need to tweak your lyrics. Or I
mhm.
like what you got going on though, like even with the branding of your, you know, with your
Yeah.
music and the way it looks with DeVall and then Lone Wolf. I think
Hmm.
I can see it working. I'm glad you're doing it.
Thank you so much. I'm
And thank
glad.
you for doing this podcast as well.
Yeah, of course. I'll do any podcast, and I
Nice.
like it.
Cool. Well, I bet you'll end up doing more and you'll get a bunch of artists on. Whenever I do start lining up tours, I don't know, maybe next year or later. But
Hmm.
when I'm planning to come through your area, I'll hit you up so we can link up in real life and
That'd be
hopefully
cool. I'm down.
we'll meet in real life. Yeah. Thanks for the virtual meeting. It was rad.
Yeah, you're welcome. That's great. Really enjoyed it. Thank you so much.
Yeah, dude. I'm glad I made a new friend. We were
Yeah,
friends on Facebook, but now I
yeah,
got
of
to know you
course.
better.
Yeah, exactly. It's a pleasure. It's always nice to see a fellow podcaster. It's pretty awesome.
Dude, yeah. It's kind of rare. I'm trying to find the other independent, podcasters and it's kind of a new thing for
Yeah,
me, so
I joined some Facebook groups. You should definitely try to find some Facebook groups for podcasters. and you can ask for advice and all that stuff. People are like, how do I do this? How come I'm not getting a lot of listeners? And they'll just be like, oh, because you're doing this and that and blah, blah, blah. Or whatever, you know?
I will do it. Yeah, and thank you for the advice. I'm going to check out, I wrote it down.
Yeah.
Anchor.fm. So I'll be checking that out. And yeah, and then I'll hit you up about making some music together, hopefully. And I'll just stay tuned with you and connected online. And
awesome.
yeah, happy holidays and whatever. Have a happy new year.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Happy New Year. Have a good time with your family and all that stuff. Stay blessed.
Yeah, you too. Stay blessed. And hey, man, hit me up anytime. I wrestle with a lot of I wrestle with depression, anxiety, all that stuff. So it's always good to just talk with somebody that is on the same wavelength.
Yes, of course. Definitely.
Well, I appreciate you, and I'll talk to you again soon.
Yeah, of course. Thank you so much.
Yeah, have a good night.
You too.